And a good Monday morning to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at a storm system that's brewing here, this is a trough of lower pressure, a short wave that's going to bring this system in different pieces, a couple waves. The first wave is going to roll through. It looks like as early as basically Tuesday night, and last into Wednesday before temperatures warm up again. And then we're looking at another wave to roll on into the region Wednesday night into Thursday, and this is the one that's more problematical. Looks like we'll see some gradient wind gusts along the western slopes, the typical usual spots. Those winds could range anywhere from 40 to 60 miles an hour, and something we'll have to keep a close eye on as it looks a little bit extra strong, as well as fence line temperature profiles that would feature some wet snow and probably some wet snow loading at some elevation, either off the valley floors or maybe in the upper summit regions of our local Green Mountains. Too early to get detailed on, but something we'll have to take a close look at. All of this taking place later in this week. It looks like we have pretty fabulous sugaring kind of weather with sap runs galore during the day today. Let's take a look at some of the computer modeling. Taking a look at the latest European model here of this 06Z this morning. This is valid at 12Z about 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. Rain will begin to spread into the region. The rain will be pushing in, changing to wet snow, it looks like, during the evening hours. And especially, this is the first wave. It looks like it's going to be relatively benign for utilities and really just a travel issue. But we are looking at some snow-coated roads. Now, the second wave is much more problematic. 997 hectopascal area of low pressure, and it seems like the stronger area of low pressure is going to be situated across upstate portion of New York. We do have another area of low pressure trying to develop, but it looks like this area of low pressure here back over toward Lake Ontario is going to be the main issue, and that's going to pull some gradient winds along the western slopes of the Green Mountains, sort of in the front part of the storm. And then, of course, wet snow is going to spread from southwest to northeast across the state. Eventually, that's going to lighten up and pull on out of the region once we get into Thursday afternoon, basically Thursday evening. But this will be problematic for area utilities. We'll have wet snow potential, as well as those strong, gusty, east to southeasterly gradient winds. Okay, let's take a look at the gradient winds, and you'll see these winds pick up here. This is the maximum wind swath here. So this is going in basically from midnight Wednesday night through Thursday, about the first half of the day. And you can see the wind gusts here along mainly the summits, but downsloping as well along the western slopes. And some of these gusts are going to be pretty strong. Even areas east of the Greens with a southerly wind and kind of a frontal system kind of pushing on through as that area of low pressure tracks out of the state. Looks like there's a definite gust here. We're seeing 57-mile-an-hour winds, for example, in places like Montpelier, up around Newport, and so forth. Not just the western slopes of the Greens, but probably along the eastern slopes as well, as the winds will shift to become more southwesterly, and it looks like it gets a good portion of Vermont. So this is valid about 16Z. That's about noon or so on Thursday. This is also another look at accumulated different precipitation types. Of course, we're looking at green here. This is the rain. Western parts of Vermont especially are going to see more rain. And then also that's going to be mixed with snow with some of the elevation angles here you can see. And mainly the southern and central Greens. Earlier modeling has had it basically north into the northern Greens as well. So we are under the gun here with a little bit of wet snow loading and certainly some gradient winds. All of this taking place mid to late week. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.